Alright, so the settings in this game are pretty basic, which I really appreciate. I'm gonna go through a couple settings that I have changed that I think you should too. First one being FOV, I have mine set to max. I have it set to max because it leaves me the ability to see more than a player that has less than max. For the purposes of this video, I'm using full screen windowed, but I normally use exclusive. VSync off, 2x AA, quality is medium, texture medium, shadow low, reactive shadow amounts, and everything's unchecked. And then for control, the only thing I have changed is I have my utility button on mouse button 5, and then to use my laser on flashlight on mouse button 4. So you need to make weapon presets mainly before you start really playing. It's pretty important, especially for defender sider weapons. The defender sider weapons are the Kyanite, the Rattler, and the MAC-10. Kyanite's really good. AK platform, can't go wrong with an AK platform. I will break down something that I've noticed that I think you guys will appreciate a little bit. The longer your barrel and muzzles are in this game, the less likely you are to be able to hold closer, tighter angles because of the length of the barrel and the gun, just like in real life. So I went from strictly using suppressors on everything to using compensators and flash hiders for a shorter barrel length. With that being said, everything I run, I pretty much run the Vertex Viper Gen 2 with a compensator or flash hider. And for the defender siders, I use flashlights. So Kyanite, Rattler, and MAC-10 all have flashlights, and everything else has lasers. But yeah, like I said, same stuff. Only thing I use differently is the SCAR. I use the ACOG on it, and everything else is the same. In order to unlock badges, it's pretty easy. All these silver ones, including this blue one, these are all badges you unlock from completing Steam challenges. And then the gold badges are for achieving a certain tier in your rank. And to understand a little bit better, if you go to the Learn tab and go to Match Points, it explains how it works and how many points you need to attain a certain tier. That being said, you go to your career and you can see your points under your name as well as your tier. You can also see the leaderboards, this top 30 on here. But yeah, the badges, the gold ones are tier based, that's how you unlock those. So the only cosmetics in this game at the moment are watches and wristbands. Watches are the only selection that have content creator things. I can't wait until they add content creator wristbands, that's gonna be dope. But these content creator watches you're able to unlock with codes from the content creators. I'll link a page that has all the codes for these in the description. All you have to do is you go to the page, get the codes, and type them in, confirm, and then once you unlock, or if you buy a wristband, you go to the purchase tab and you click whichever one and it'll say active. And that's how the wristbands and watches work. So the planning table is really important. The planning table and preparation. Now, preparation for attackers is, first thing you need to do is determine whether or not you're using night vision. If you're going to use night vision, you need to tell everyone you're using night vision, and you all need to get night vision or a flashlight. Second thing is, I'm not 100% certain, I'm waiting on a response from a dev, but when you die, you lose your gun, or when an enemy picks your gun up, you can't get that same gun the next round. All the guns are really good. The ballistic shield's good, shotgun is really good, MAC-10's really good, oppressor, G36, M4, all of it. You can choose where you spawn in here, but you can also choose where you spawn in the planning table too, which it's about to switch to here in a second. And you can also change your gun modifications. So this is the planning table. You need to learn how to maneuver this pretty quickly. You use WASD to move your camera, hold right click and drag your mouse to move your visual camera, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 to switch through the 4s. Now you'll see this white ping right here. that is the notification that that's where the hostage is. Now to ping that to where you can see in game, you right click the area, it'll bring up the radial ping menu, and you can choose to highlight it with whatever ping you want. Now on the first floor, you'll notice this icon here. This icon is the power icon. You go to it and there will be a control board there, and you can flip the power on the whole building. Now you see these circles all around the map. These are the spawn positions, and if you click one of these, you'll change your spawn there. You can also rappel on the sides of the buildings, all throughout the sides, and peek in. Defenders cannot spawn peek, they can't go through the entrances, so you don't have to worry about that. So in my opinion, defending's a lot easier than attacking, especially planning. Now, if you look over here where my mouse is highlighted, you'll see this crown. Wherever the crown is on these locations, that's where the hostage is going to spawn. So you can spawn master bedroom and the crown's still second floor hall, that's where the hostage is, but you'll spawn here and vice versa. The utility is really good. You have door traps, flare sticks, door wedges, sticky cam, C4, and medium armor. Armor gives you extra hit points, sticky cam, self-explanatory, door trap, self-explanatory, flare stick, all of it's self-explanatory. I'll show you how to use them here in a minute. Same thing, you can modify your attachments in the planning phase. The guns of the MAC-10, the Rattler, and the Kyanite. They're all very situational. Rattler's really good for CQB. It can fight at any range. Kyanite, vice versa. So there's two main game modes. There is TDM Hostage and TDM Bomb. TDM Bomb, there is a hostage somewhere on, so I'm playing TDM Bomb right now on this custom. And it shows the location of the hostage throughout the entire map because you can't move the hostage because he has a bomb on him. On TDM Hostage, it's the opposite. It will not show you the location of the hostage unless the hostage is scared by shooting or the defenders move him. So the way you locate where the hostage is on TDM Hostage is you need to be in the building and you need to have a teammate fire their weapon while you're on the planning table, and it will reveal the position of the hostage. To view the planning table in game, all you have to do is push the 5 key, which is the default bind for the planning table. One thing I really like about this game is the movement and dance space, speed, and your stamina in general. Everything about this game I really like, but this is one of my favorite things. So if you look on the bottom left of my screen, I'll highlight it. You see your health. On the right of that, you'll see your character's stance, and then on the bottom, you'll see speed. You can see it declining right now and go back up. So you can adjust your character's speed with mouse wheel up and mouse wheel down by just scrolling it up and down. And whatever speed you set your character to while standing, he'll stay like that. So when you go to crouch, he's going to have a different speed. So each stance has its own speed and you have to change each one. You don't have the same speed throughout both stances. You can, but you need to set them both to the same stance. So keep that in mind when you're trying to make a quiet play, when you have your crouch on minimum speed and then you stand up in your max walking speed and you make a bunch of noise. So one thing I really like about this game is that you have the ability to go lights out on every map. That's not necessarily a good thing for each map though, because some maps are always during the daytime, so it does nothing, and some rooms in certain maps have good natural lighting even during the nighttime, so you can see with the lights out. So once you start playing more, you'll know when to go lights out, and sometimes it's really not that good because flashlights are really hard to look at while you have nods on. Even without them on in the dark, it's hard to fight someone. So turning lights out is very situational. It is a good tactic, but you need to be smart with it because people will also camp the power box and just hide and wait for you to cut it off and start going upstairs. Then they'll cut it on and come flank you. So just be very careful when you adjust the power. So you want to play properly on attack, and to do that you need to make sure that you have a point man and that you don't get in the way of the point man, and that you clear everything behind him if you're behind the point man. So if you're not point man, like I said, just to make sure you're not like blocking choke points and getting in the way of everyone, you want to make sure you clear everything behind the point man. And then you need to stay in groups. If you split, just always make sure if there's a group of 2 flanking for power or something, that the rest stay together and clear. So as a point man, you want to go and clear everything that you can immediately as you go in, and your teammates will clear the rest behind you as you start clearing. Another thing too is when you're scoped in your gun, if you tap left alt, you can zoom in your scope on any scope. Helps out a lot, especially when holding tighter angles. So when you can hear the bomb, you'll clear as point man. I'm gonna keep going up. I'm gonna clear the rest of the stairs. All right, you know it's clear. I'm gonna come back down while they hold the door. I'm gonna pop door open or call for someone to pop the door open and move to the right. And then what I'll do is I'll stand either like right here and I'll hold this door, and as he pops it open, I'll start wide swinging, getting ready, clearing everything as I go in. And then I'll call for my teammate to hold my left over here from right here. And then as he holds it, and I'll tell him to start swinging slow across here. I'll come out, kill, start defusing. While you're defusing, you can shoot guns. You can also turn your laser on. All these doors, are all the wooden ones especially, are wall bangable. So don't be afraid to like pre-fire wall bang through shit as you're defusing. Also, the defenders have cameras everywhere as well, so you need to be wary of that. Alright, so defending is a little easier than attacking because you don't have to push anything, you just have to hold angles. So on defending, I like to use the kyanite for that reason, because I hold longer angles. And the way you want to play defending is you want to hold all the like sit in a safe area near the hostage to where you're not exposed to windows, and you want to sit on the cams and just wait for enemies and get the information on where they're coming from. When you get the information on where they're coming from, you can determine whether or not you need to reposition. In maps like this, in this area, there's lots of windows, and if they cut the power, they have really good vision of the whole site from these windows and these windows. So the best spots you can really sit for a good angle on the hostage is in this room right here, or in this back room where my teammate's going right now. These are the best areas, so you gotta think of what the best areas to sit for you to get a good angle on the hostage for when enemies come in, or to have a good angle on entry point where you know that they're going to be coming from. That being said, you know, just try not to be super aggressive. The worst thing to do on defense is to be super aggressive and die instantly and give the enemy team a lot of information. So just try not to do that. It's called defending for a reason, not attacking.
Good kill.
Oh, he mad.
Ooh, smoked him.
All enemies have been destroyed.
Oh,
Nice. Oh my gosh, what a play.
last one's, I know where he is. I know where the last one is. Let's fucking go.
Nice! You got the one right side?
He's in here back
Oh,
right.
another one in that same room. Back
Back
your
up,
right,
back
your
up,
right,
back up,
Twitch.
back up,
Already
back up,
got
back
it.
up.
All enemies have been
Oh, I wallbanged him. Let's go.
Disgusting.
Oh my god.
Disgusting. Good stuff. That was crazy to watch.
Oh my god, that was clean.